And
Taylor.
we're back with another episode of the Sam Powers podcast. Fucking back for a second time. Comedian, hilarious guy, DJ Brooks, everybody.
Love the clap.
Woo!
Not the disease, just you clapping.
Yeah, I say you got the second most viewed episode of the podcast, but it's actually the third most if you count episode one. Because
Who's
I
that,
don't,
Taylor?
yeah, but it's episode one, and I had it like in the preview part. So it's like when people come to my channel, that episode would just start playing
Yeah, it's
automatically.
the first one.
Yeah, so I don't really count that one, you know. So really, you have the second most viewed
Don't
episode.
give Taylor any credit anyways, right? We can't have that.
And at first, I thought maybe it's because you have like DJ in your name, so people thought that you were like a DJ, and maybe they're like trying to listen to some, I don't know, whatever. But then
No, they're probably like, who's this old guy? Like, why is he? What's going on with this dude? There's something wrong with this.
You don't look old. With bald people, you can never tell how old they are, you know?
It's
Like,
true. It's true. Patrick Stewart ran it for a long time. He ran that gig.
Oh, really?
Oh, just Picard in like the 80s. He was still in X-Men in like 2020.
Yeah.
Guy's getting paid.
True.
Keep it bald. So what's going on, man?
Not much. A little while ago, well, I just actually posted the video of it. Did the first comedy show back in the backyard.
Yeah. Mark did a show, right? That's one of his shows?
Yeah. So David Green hooked me up with that, which was pretty fucking sick, man.
Yeah, it looked like it was a good time.
Have you done any shows yet?
Nothing. I went to Levity last week just to like be in a comedy club and talk to people again. And I'll probably go again this week. When Showtime opens up, I'm on the 17th. What are you doing, the 10th or the 17th?
The 10th.
Mark is awesome. He just like grabbed all of the main comedians and split them up between the 10th and the 17th, the first two AM nights, which is wicked to get it started again.
I know, it's sick that he did that, but like at the same time, I was thinking that he should have done less comedians because like it's 50 people capacity, right?
Yeah, I don't know what.
And 15 of them are gonna be comedians, you know?
I don't know what his plan is for that stuff. I haven't even asked. I don't know what the deal is. I haven't even seen the lineups. Is it a lot of people every night?
I think it's like 15 people. I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I don't know how many people it is.
Honestly, I don't even care. If I'm talking to just comedians the week one, it's fine.
Yeah, true.
I'm not even sure I remember how to hold a microphone.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. So you're going to be on September 17th?
Yeah.
That's sick. I'll probably try to come out for both shows.
Yeah, my plan is to go for both too, I think. Yeah, and I've been so I went to Levity last week. I'll go to Levity this week for their AM night. I didn't even like put my name in for Lotto. It felt so good. I mean, you probably got it with the outdoor thing, right? Like just doing it again, like being there and seeing people and saying hello and whatever. I'll wear my mask and take it off to drink my beer. And I don't know, I just love being back. Like I was starting to, I don't know if you felt this way. I was starting to wane, like get like, oh my God, I've had enough of this. And then just getting in the club, not doing stand-up, just being in the club, like energized me again. So I'm excited.
For me, it's like when I went to Levity too, actually. Oh no, I didn't go to Levity. I went to, it was like a Levity night at Absinthe.
Oh, Absinthe? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuesday? Yeah.
And like I had like the opposite effect. 'Cause I didn't drink or anything. Usually I'm like at least having a couple beers. So I was like, man, this sucks. I was like, I don't want to talk to anybody. And it's like, I don't know. It's just weird. But then I was like, yeah, okay, I want to get back into it. And I did that backyard show, and it was fucking awesome. It did feel good. And
yeah,
like
I saw the clip.
Yeah. So like that's why I want to put it up there because I was like, you know, it's good. And then it'll motivate me to write more jokes. I feel like if my
100%.
jokes are on YouTube, you know, because then I don't want to keep doing those. So I want to get like my next goal is to like try to get good filming of all my like one-liners, right? Because I don't have that yet.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You can do that at any shows, right? Like just keep every time you do them, record them, right?
Yeah, luckily like David recorded that for me. I never do anything like that, you know. It's pretty sick
Oh,
though. You had
come
like a
on.
tripod and everything.
Every show you should be recording it, man.
I
Even
know,
the
I know.
brutal bar shows, because who knows, maybe some ad lib you'll want to keep, you
Mhm.
got recorded, or like you do some crowd work you're never going to use again, then you can just post it on your social media or whatever, right?
True, yeah,
So
and it's good for like remembering stuff or whatever too, like, or just knowing you have those jokes. Like I had a bunch like recordings, like just audios and stuff, and like
yeah,
jokes written down on my phone, and I lost it, and I'm so sad about like what jokes that I'm like never gonna remember. You know what I mean?
yeah, I have some stuff that, like, I remember like bits, like kind of, they just morph over time.
Hmm.
And then like you go back and listen to something you said 6 months ago and you're like, oh, this one line I've just dropped for some reason.
Yeah,
That's a
and it was like
great
a good
line.
line. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you just slide it back in now, right? I like to go back, a few months and like listen to stuff, and I always do that. I don't know, but that's like the academic in me. Like I'm
Hmm.
very specific and very structured, I guess, and how I do it. I listen to old recordings almost every day, something.
Man, what's
But
this artwork behind you? It looks like like weed plants or
yeah,
something.
I'm in my dining. I'm in my dining. It's from like IKEA. I'm
Why
in
you
my
got,
dining room.
you could just get plants. You don't need pictures of plants. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is what happens when you're in COVID and your wife decides we're renovating the den, and she's in the living room, so I can't be there. So here I am in the dining room with my
Yeah.
IKEA plants.
Right on, right on.
We have no fake plants in the home though, so I'm proud of that.
So what have you been up to since we talked last? It's been months and it's like just COVID the whole
Dude,
time.
COVID was like quiet and calm for me for a while, but now I'm
Mm-hmm.
so busy. It's crazy because
Mm-hmm.
like I have too many jobs, right? So I have my 9 to 5, which is fine, and that's still going. I'm lucky to keep having that.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also teach part time at Brock,
Yeah.
so I have a class this semester, but I have to completely redo it because it has to be online now. The whole class has to be online. Like I'm
Oh
not.
fuck, that sucks, man.
So I have to completely redo my syllabus and how I teach. So I'm trying to get that ready for next week. I've
Mm-hmm.
got this other thing too. I just got a few weeks ago. Like I don't know if you know this, but like I curl, right? So I think I've told you
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
or I used to curl. So
And I've heard
Ontario,
you talk about it on your podcast a bunch too, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
But now I've got this other thing that the Ontario Curling Council has me doing, where I interview curlers. And then I edit it and post it. I was editing one today, actually. So that's like another little side gig. So this is what I do. I say yes to everything because I like getting paid. So if someone's going to pay me, I'll do it. And then you're like, I don't have enough hours to do all of this. I don't know why I
Yeah.
keep saying yes to all this crap. But here I am. So I'll get, I don't know, this weekend I'll have to bunker up and prep for that. I don't know, like, for me as a student, I would have been awful as an online learner. Like I barely showed up to class when you had to physically be present in class. And most of my students barely show up to class. So
Yeah.
online, we'll see, like most of them are like you. Like you gotta
Yeah.
like drag them to class to try to get them to learn something that they're paying thousands of dollars to go to, and they won't show up.
Yeah, I was bad for that. And I would literally sleep in class, which is pretty bad. I don't
Yeah.
know. Some teachers, their voice just like puts you to sleep. They're just like super monotone, you know?
It's their cadence, right?
Yeah, I
I
could
think
be
so.
like, go ahead.
For real though, I think it's helped me with my comedy because I was
Hmm.
a professor long before I did stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And I think like I obviously wasn't telling jokes, but you learn how to speak in a way that grabs attention, right? Like that tries
Yeah,
to,
for
like I
sure.
know when I'm losing a room, and I
Like,
know when I was losing my class.
I feel like you skipped the phase of being like bad at comedy, you know? Like, you were like decent right when you started, you know? I never
Well,
really saw you do like, you know, at least, I don't know. You always had that, like, at least, like, maybe you had already been doing it for a bit when I first saw you, like a couple months or something.
yeah,
Um,
I was in Hamilton the first few times, and it was pretty gross. But
uh,
by the time I was down at Showtime in Niagara, which is
mhm,
closer to me, I just didn't know about the community, right?
yeah.
I had done it a bit. I at least had bits that I could do. They weren't polished, but
Right.
I wasn't horrendous, but in Hamilton at the start, I was pretty gross.
So you went to Hamilton to start. Do you remember like where it was and everything?
So it doesn't exist anymore. Matt Serena, he has a company called Hub of the Hammer, but he's like an event management guy. Anyways, he had a Facebook group I found, and it was First Timers Comedy at this little bar called Zyla's, and it was all first timers. So once a month he did it, and it was for people to try comedy for the first time. And then he would have like a headliner of a real comedian trying new stuff. So everybody, it was like the bar was, I don't even know what's a good comparison, like the size of Showtime's bar area.
Oh,
Like
fuck. So it was tiny.
Small, right? So everyone there is super supportive. You're not allowed to heckle. And so I did that twice, I think. And I was terrified. I sucked. But it was awesome because it was a no judgment zone. You weren't going to just die on stage and then have to, like, it was fun. It was good. For me, it was perfect. I wish he still ran the show, but the bar closed and Matt's not running much comedy stuff anymore. But it was super cool. And it's something I almost want to start, right? Like I would
Yeah,
love
I was going to say
something.
that's a sick concept. Like we should get something going like that around.
But I don't know. Like I'm the type of guy too, where I know that the guys at Showtime don't love people running shows in St. Catharines. So I'm not gonna do that. I guess maybe I could run something in Beamsville, but then people have to drive here for it, right? So I don't know. But we'll see. I think there's an opportunity for something like that. I think people want to try comedy, and once we get back to normal times, you're gonna get people will come out for that. Like, what do you think people are doing right now? They're on YouTube watching podcasts, and they're look at all the specials on Netflix, right? So people are gonna want to try stand-up comedy. Everyone thinks they're funny, right?
Like people want to try all the time, and they like for years. I've like lots of comedians I've talked to, and they said like they wanted to try years and years before they actually ever did start, and they kind of just never got the courage up to. So like a show like this would kind of give some people like that kick in the butt that they need, where it's like they might be afraid to go ask for a show, but if they see a show that's like, oh, first timers, then it's like less pressure, right?
Yeah, dude, I was 37 the first time I grabbed a microphone.
That's wild. You and Joe Botello started so late.
Does Joe start late too?
Yeah, he wanted to start before he was 40, so I think he started like 39 or something.
I don't even know how old Joe is.
He's like 40 something. Yeah, I don't know either.
It's not like a 16-year-old, 18-year-old.
Yeah, maybe he's almost 50. I don't know. He's like 45, I want to say, something like that. I think he's been doing it like 5 years now, same as me.
He's been around since I've been around for sure. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's funny. I had him on twice. No, I got you on twice, bro. Good shit.
You had Joe on twice before. I'll call that a scheduling because we had to keep finding times to do this. But.
Well, yeah, I asked you like a month ago and you're like, nothing's changed.
I know. Well, I was just I don't know. Like, I don't know about you, right? But like, I go in peaks and valleys, right? I get into spots. I'm like, I don't want to do anything right now. Like, especially with COVID, I've been like the last 7 years, I've been fine. Because life's been good and normal. I haven't had to battle any of that stuff. But like the last 5 months, you're just like, oh my God. Like it's just different, right? Like it's not the bad, dark, deep stuff, but it's just the monotony of not knowing, right?
Yeah, like that's why like I definitely got peaks and valleys too. Cause like when I started the podcast, I was just doing it like crazy. It was like so much fun, and then I was like, man, this is starting to feel like a job, like trying to find people and then canceling whatever, blah blah blah. And I was like, all right, and I took a break, and now it's like nice to where I actually like enjoy it again, because it's like I just like do it whenever I want, once, twice a week, whatever. It's like I'm not just making sure I have one every single day, right? Like that was wild.
It's supposed to, like, if you're going to do it, it's got to be fun, right? Like, all these things have to be fun. Like, once they turn into a job, then I don't know. And I think the same thing with comedy, right? Like, I don't know about you and what your goals are. Like, I for sure, I don't think anyone who's gone on stage is going to say that they don't want to make it and be, to get there and, be the headliner, be that star, I guess is the term. But for me, I'd be happy to just keep doing this, right? Like get paid sometimes. I just love it. Like I just love stand-up comedy. Like I don't want to act. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to tell my stupid jokes into the microphone and have fun. And if this is as good as it gets and I keep living my life and I'm pretty happy, then that's awesome, right? Which is, I'm lucky that way. I know not everybody has the same goals, but.
Yeah, like Joe Rogan said something that always sticks with me. It's like there's 10,000 or something brain surgeons or something. I forget what the number is, but there's way more brain surgeons than there are famous comedians. Like way fucking more. You know what I mean? So if like that's a way of like putting into perspective how hard it is to get famous as a comedian, because you know what, it's really fucking hard to become a brain surgeon, right? But it's easier to do that.
You have better odds of making the NHL. Learning how to skate today.
Wow. Like, I don't know about learning me. Okay, maybe someone else has better odds.
But you know what I mean? Like the odds of a kid growing up to be in the NHL are better than being a comedian.
Yeah, like, that's crazy.
Not a paid. You can be a paid working comedian.
Yeah.
But you're scraping by a lot of the time. You know how it is in Toronto and Vancouver. A lot of those guys you see, they're headlining comedians that have been big, and you know they're not exactly living in their mansions, right? They're just they're living their life, and they're not the star that you thought they would be. But, and this isn't like to be derogatory or anything, but look at a guy like Glenn Foster, right? Like the guy's has a great life, you would assume, but he's kind of fallen off the map as he's gotten older in terms of star power, right? He's still funny. I've seen him in clubs. But he didn't have that like trajectory. Like we all want to be Russell Peters, but we're not all going to be Russell Peters or Jim Carrey or what other Canadian comedian you want to be. But if you want to get paid to write for a sitcom or, you know, to do your headlining once in a while, you can do that. But when it dries up, there's no pension. There's no, like, what do you do, right? It's not like being a teacher where next year you just get a job no matter what. Like, you got to keep being at the top somehow. And
yeah, you got to keep working so hard and grinding. It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a nonstop. Like, you're committed to whatever, 45 years of grinding. If you love it that much, away you go.
I feel like with me, it's like I just want to get my stuff out there a lot. Like if I get these jokes out there and people love them, that's awesome. And if I can't ever think of any more funny stuff, that sucks. You know what I mean? But like, it's like when I think of something awesome, it's like, I want people to hear this. I want them to know that I thought of this, you know?
Yeah.
That's go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, for me, like, and if you ask any of my like friends that I grew up with, I would have not been considered a creative person, right? Like I can't draw. I'm in an extremely musical family. I can't play any instruments. I'm tone deaf. I can't sing. And when I say like extremely musical, like it's like you, right? Like, so like my great grandfather started the Stratford Music Festival. My great uncle, so my grandma's brother, was the music director at Roy Thompson Hall. Like very, awesome. Very musical family.
Don't compare them to me. I'm not musical at all, bro. That's why I chose the ukulele.
No, but you have like a cousin who's like a actual.
Oh yeah, Deadmau5. Like, yeah.
And you can at least play a ukulele. Right, I can't even do that. I can't draw. I can't I had what you would consider growing up, like the arts, right? When it came to the arts, it didn't fit. I was good at math, I was good in school, I played sports, fine. So I took my path and I went with it, right? But then I always had this like weird want to like create something, right? I didn't know how or what, and I always loved comedy. And I didn't even realize it at the time, but like I love creating something, like you said, right? Like you create this thing and you put it out there. People respond, they respond. If they don't, they don't. But like just the act of like me being later in life, being like, oh, I created this thing, right? Like this is I've never been able to do that. I've never been able to draw a picture that I've been proud of.
Yeah.
And like, look, I want everyone to see this.
Yeah, comedy is like an art form, right? It's like, it's definitely, yeah, it's like a painting or a piece of music or anything like that. A good joke is just the same, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's just a different thing, right? It's a different type of creativity. It's a performing art. And like, I have one cousin who like I'm pretty close with most of my family, but like she went to performing arts school. She's a great singer, dances, and she's very into like the art industry, like that whole world, the theater. And it like brought us closer because all of a sudden we have these things that we can like talk about, right? Because like she helped me with that Orangeville theater show a lot.
Oh, that's dope.
Right? And like, cause I could lean on her for her experience in those situations. And now we have this shared thing that a lot of people in the family don't have, right? Like this idea of stress of standing in front of hundreds of people and trying to make them enjoy your performance, right? And comedy is just the worst thing about comedy is, they're not the worst, but like, right away if they like it or not, right? Like they don't like it, like if you're dancing, I don't know, like, they read the room, or do you have to wait to the end to see if there's a big applause or a small applause, right? Like in comedy, you tell one line and you're like, shit.
Yeah, and I feel like with dancing and stuff like that, it's like the percentage that they do like, they almost always like it, you know what I mean? Unless like the dancer like fucks up or something, you know what I mean? I haven't really seen like any dancing where I was like, oh, this dancing sucks, you know? Like,
it's really cool.
Yeah. And even like with music, like bands and stuff, they're not like, oh, like I guess with bands, if you're at like an open mic, then you can be like, oh, this band sucks. That's like the closest thing to with comedy, maybe.
Can you imagine heckling a dancer?
That'd be wild. Yeah.
That's not a full plie. That's not
like, I don't even know what a plie is, but it sounds like a dance word. Yeah.
My kid was in ballet. They said words. I don't know.
There's gotta be like a video out there or something of like a sketch video of like people treating other jobs like comedians and just heckling. Yeah, because there's like comedian, it's like the only job where it's like that could happen. I can't even think of like one other one. I guess like musicians like throwing tomatoes and stuff, but that never really happens, you know what I mean? Comedians get heckled all the time. Even good ones, like even if you're killing, you sometimes get heckled.
Well, but that's part of the art form too, right? Because the whole idea is that you want people to feel like they're having a one-on-one conversation with you almost.
Right, yeah.
You've got 200 people in the crowd and 200 people think you're talking to just them, right? Like that's, if you put on a perfect show, that's what you've done, is you've had these, it felt like this intimate thing and you made them laugh, right? So I don't know, I just want to do it again. I've got the bug bad right now.
You got any new jokes that you've been working on?
Tons. Are they funny? Nice. I don't know, right? Because I haven't had a chance to try them.
Yeah, when you come back, are you going to try your new jokes right away? Or are you going to do like old jokes and then?
Combo.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll like probably start with something new or old to get a laugh, go to something new, and then I'll have like all right, that worked, try something else new, or that didn't work, go to something old to finish off, right? Like,
yeah,
I want to finish it okay. So yeah, I know. I mean, I'm worried about COVID jokes, and like right now what I've been doing is going through all my stuff and being like, does this make sense in this COVID world right now? Like, are people going to relate to this?
You almost have to rethink every joke. Yeah, that's wild.
How often do you say last week or 2 weeks ago when it was?
Yeah, so like my pool figure joke, I had to like reword everything because I was like before COVID, like, I had sex one time because I can't be like the other week I went to have sex like I used to say, even though like this literally happened to me when I was like 19 or something. So
yeah.
But I'm not gonna say that in a joke. Like way back when I was 19, you know what I mean?
you have to make it feel like you walked up on stage and just thought of all these things. So it has to feel recent, right? So we all do it. Like my Netflix and chill joke. I say like last week.
Yeah, the other day in class. Yeah, so now you have to like reword that like back when there was a class and like fucking, back when kids used to go to school. That sucks in a way, man. That's weird. But go on.
I have added a few like COVID type tags to that joke.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I'm excited to hear them, man. I'm excited to see like everyone go back up and shit and
see what they do. Yeah. And we'll see who's in town. A bunch of people might not be in town anymore, right? Like who are students. Like I haven't talked to Tyler in a while, but
Tyler Reese Sanford, I think he's like on shows and stuff still. I don't know.
Because he was at Brock, right? Same with Jason.
Jason Shang, yeah, but they still live around in this area. Jason Shang's gonna be headlining Camp Cataract tomorrow. I think that's tomorw.
Oh,
or the next day. It is tomorrow.
Tyler's on that show too. Now that I say that, because
Mitch
is on.
Oh, Mitch is on too. No, that's not tomorrow. It's Wednesday. Yeah, but
whenever.
Yeah. Fucking, I'm excited for that one. It's Camp Cataract's usually pretty good.
Are you doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love. They're gonna be outside though. I think, right? Like, cause that's a tight room.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. Even outside, it's like probably pretty tight.
Yeah,
their patio's not that big, unless they made a new, bigger patio. I don't know.
What I don't know. Like, it can't be out front.
Yeah, it's definitely not out front.
Too small. So I've never been on their patio out back, but I just love that we're at least at a point where we can do these again, even if they're small.
Yeah.
Like when I was at Levity, small crowd, but and spaced around because they have to. But everyone who's there wants to laugh, right? Like no one's being dragged out. Everyone has an excuse if they don't want to come. They just go, no, COVID, don't want to go. So everybody there wants to laugh and wants to have a good time. So I found the crowd was like wicked into it, which was awesome.
Yeah, it's sick. Like I've only done that one show, right? Well, it was 2 days. So, but yeah, both nights it was sick. And it was like not that many people because it was a backyard and they had them spread out. They each had their own little section and stuff. But like, yeah, they were there laughing, really super into comedy. And same with that Absinthe. Like Absinthe was crazy for Manolis's birthday. You should have came out, man.
Yeah, you know what? I talked to my wife about it, and that was before, like, because again, my dad lives with us, right? So we've been pretty careful. We're comfortable now that if I go out my once or twice a week and, wear my mask and wash my hands and stuff, but I wanted to go because I love Manolis so much.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He gave me one of the funniest tags in my whole act. He was just like, he saw me do a bit and was like, oh my God, I have a tag for you. He's like the most genuinely nice comedian you'll ever meet. He doesn't care. All he wants is for people to laugh. And he's like, this is funny. Here you go. He's amazing.
Yeah. Now, anytime you say something really good, I'm being like, DJ didn't think of that. Somebody else gave him that tag. It's probably Manolis. Yeah.
I mean, he is a guy that I genuinely don't fully understand how he hasn't like made it more in comedy, because he's so I see him at open mic nights where he's trying brand new stuff for the first time, and it's hilarious. He's always funny. Yeah,
he's a fucking killer. He's awesome, and like he gets like tons of views on YouTube. Like I think he's got like a video with over like 20,000 views or something of him doing stand up.
Yeah, he was on like. Have you seen his Comedy Now specials from like 2000?
Yeah, they're wild. He looks so different. It's so sick.
And you're like, it was so good.
Yeah.
And you're like, how is he not popped? But
he was so close to like being famous. He's like almost famous, or I don't even know. Yeah.
He's
and he still might be. That's what's sick about being a comedian as opposed to NHL player or whatever. It's like you can break at any point. It's like you never have a point in your life where it's like, oh, now I'm too old. I have to stop. Like I'm never gonna make the NHL or whatever.
There's always an audience.
Yeah.
There's always an audience, no matter your age. Like Ron White was he was like over 50 before I don't know how I don't know the exact, but the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, right? With Bill Engvall and Jeff Foxworthy. That's when he blew up, and he had already been around forever at that point, right? He was
exactly
then, and that's when he exploded and started making all of his real money, right? So you never know. You just also have to accept that you might never get that break as well. And who knows? Hopefully for Manolis, of course, and well, for all of us, that break still comes. But you know, because that guy's hilarious. Like, he's not even my type of comedy. Like, if I'm looking up comedy that I want to watch, it wouldn't be that type of stuff. But every time I see him, I kill myself laughing.
Yeah, me too. He's great.
What do you thought about Aliens? Let's go.
Aliens, yeah. You used to watch the podcast all the time. You still been watching it?
Every once in a while, when there's someone, I watched the one with Val the other day.
That was
pretty good.
Yeah, that one was great. She's awesome.
I love Val. She's a great lady. Yeah, I would have to go through the list. If they're like comedians, when you get on like your rap battle people and stuff, no thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, like, everyone do your thing. There's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Who do you think I should get back on? Who was your favorite?
Of what?
Of the people I've had on. Who was the best?
Keep talking. I'll go through it.
All right. You were saying the one guy that pissed you off, and then is that why you stopped watching too?
No, he was awful.
Yeah.
I can't even remember his name, but he was the worst.
I know who you're talking about. I'm not going to say it, but yeah.
Oh, I love Jason. Jason was really good. He was hilarious. Actually.
He was hilarious. Adam Wickens messaged me, and he's like, yo, was Jason just doing like a bit the whole time? It's like, it's so funny.
He's so good, man.
Yeah.
He's one of the first guys I saw, like, when I was starting, and I was like, holy hell. Like, how do I get that good?
Right? Really? Wow. Because for me, it's like I saw him like right at the beginning. So like when he started, I was better than him. He was just starting. Now he's probably better than me, the bastard. But comedy's subjective. But like fucking, he's got so much heart, right? He's so young. He's like 20 or something. He started right when he was 19, right when he could go to bars. 32. Oh, fuck. I thought you were talking about Jason Chang for some reason, bro.
Oh, no. Jason Allen.
Oh, my God.
Big red beard. Not Asian.
Yeah. Okay, now everything you're saying makes a lot more sense. Yeah, Jason's been doing comedy way longer than me. I've never seen him when he was just starting or anything.
No.
Yeah, Jason Allen's sick.
He's funny too, but
but Jason Allen's a killer. He's like a headliner. That's
unreal.
Go ahead.
I was just saying he's unreal. He's got multiple albums out. He's
and like he was so like in the podcast they did even talked about how like he was making a living off comedy, which is super impressive. Yeah.
He's a professional comedian, man.
Yeah, that's so fucking cool. For some reason, his is like the only episode that has no comments. No one commented on it.
Ginger hate. Ginger hate. Anti-gingites.
Man, when you were talking about, I think, on your podcast, and your brother got like his head kicked in or something for Kick a Ginger Day, that made me so upset. That's so fucked up, you know what I mean? And that was like before, that must have been before the South Park episode, right?
No. That was about then.
Oh, it was so...
Yeah.
So you're not that old, DJ.
Well, okay. So, my little brother's story is weird.
Oh, it's your little brother. Okay, that makes more sense to you, right?
But like, so I was an only child until I was like 16, and then my parents started adopting kids. Fostering kids. So my home became a foster home. So we had lots of kids in and out of our home as they needed. But Brad, my little brother, was the first foster kid we ever had, and then my parents ended up legally adopting him. But he was like 15 years younger than me, 16 years, whatever. No, 12 years young, 12 years younger. Okay. But he had like red hair and everything too, so that also fit. And it was hilarious the first time, like, because my family was super religious. I'm not now, but they were. So like the first time we brought him to church, right? Like, I'm like 16. My family has like a pew we sat in, right? Like, we sat in the same spot. Everyone knew that's where the Brookses sat. And then one day we just rock in with a 3-year-old with red hair, and everyone's like, is that the teenager's kid? Is that whose kid? Yeah. Right? So yeah, he was much younger than me. Yeah.
That's so fucked though. So like, did South Park, like, they caused all that shit then? They probably like ruined so many ginger lives all over the place.
Well, they make fun of everything, right? So
Yeah, true.
if you want to, sure. But people just use that as an excuse to
Yeah,
do.
I love South Park. I'm not trying to hate on South Park or anything. Yeah.
People just will use whatever excuse they can when they're angry at themselves.
Right.
High school sucks for some people, man. Like, it was fine for me. I got good grades. I played my sports. I had a supportive home. But for a lot of people, it's shit, right? They're going through a million things, and so they just take it out on other people. And if you have an excuse to do something, like kick a ginger one day, because it was, on the radio, on TV.
It was on the radio even? Fuck, that's
when
wild.
you drive in, I don't know.
Yeah.
2000 was a different time.
Yeah.
People would do it.
It's so funny when people say stuff like that, like 2000 and whatever, just 2000 was a different time, because it sounds like such a big number. Like, 2,000 years after the Jesus shit, we should have our shit together by now,
Sab, the first year I went to university in 2000, my first goal, we didn't have internet.
That's wild. Yeah, that's crazy.
At university.
Yeah.
We didn't have cable in our room. We had a common room for like 30 people, and we had to share one TV.
Was that pretty chill though? Did you like meet a lot of cool people in the common room?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was way better because we had like a schedule on the wall, because we all voted at the beginning of the year for shows we liked.
Oh, so, nice. Yeah.
So if you came in and you were watching TV, that's fine. But if one of the shows on the schedule, someone wanted to watch it, you had to change the channel to that show, because the floor decided. If you just came in and wanted to watch something else, but it wasn't on the schedule, you can eat a dick. You just had to deal with it. So, like, we didn't have cell phones or the internet, man. So like, you just drank and talked to people. You just did this. This is what we did. This was my university life. We were just hanging out Tuesday at 4:00. Let's have a beer and talk absolute shit about nothing.
I think I would have enjoyed that. Like, the movies like Dazed and Confused and shit, I'm like, man, that looks so chill. Like, nowadays everyone's like staring at their phones and stuff, and it's like, fuck, I don't know.
And I'm bad at it too. Like, I can't pretend I don't. But there is something romantic, like not romantic, but you think back, and there were some good times, man, when you had no one could. You don't want someone to get in touch with you? Okay, they can't.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like, I don't have a cell phone right now because like the COVID shit. I'm like, I'm just home anyways. So I'm not gonna pay a phone bill. You know what I mean? Like, it seems just like money thrown out the window, and it's like, you don't actually need to like get a hold of me. You don't need to text me. It's like there's all these like free mediums out there now.
Yeah, just Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
You have your computer, it'll ding you.
And it is nice to just like ignore people for like days, or whatever. And it's like sometimes I don't go on Facebook or whatever, but it's like with the phone, it's like I always felt like I had to answer them right away,
Yeah. Well, that's like, my wife gets mad at me if it's more than like 4 minutes. I mean, she doesn't have to respond for days, but I have to respond within a very short amount of time, or I'll hear about it. But it's also because I always respond, so I've like created my own problems.
Yeah, you were a quick texter from the beginning, is what your problem is. Yeah, you said
I'm like a multitasker, and I can't like I don't have ADHD or anything, but like when that little light's flashing, I can't not look at it. Like, I don't know how people do that.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's like you can't. That's a good point for sure.
Or like people that have like a bunch of stuff at the top of their cell phone, like, look at it, like swipe it away. It needs to be clean. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's got like 7 emails and like 2 Facebook messages and like 3 text. Like, that's a level of stress I can't handle. I can't handle that. I need to delete that stuff.
Oh man, I used to ask everybody what they're watching on Netflix, what's good, but now I can't ask that anymore because fucking Netflix is coming out with a new like pedophile show or some shit. Have you seen that?
No.
It's called like Cuties, and it's just like a bunch of like little kids doing weird shit.
Okay, so I haven't read enough. I haven't read enough about this,
Yeah.
but apparently, it's not what you think it is. Like it's a
I watched the trailer for it. It was pretty fucking bad, bro.
no, but if you look up like the director and writer, and like apparently it's like a commentary, like she's not mocking, but she's saying like, hey guys, this is a real fucking problem in our world. Like
Oh, right.
just putting it out there to be like, how is no one doing anything about this? I
Okay,
haven't read
okay.
enough about it, so I don't know that factually. I saw like some tweets.
I just saw the trailer and I saw like little kids like being sexualized, and I was like, man, this is so fucked. Like Dan Harmon's being canceled
Who?
because Dan Harmon. Do you watch Rick and Morty?
I know what it is, but no, I don't.
So he's a co-creator of that, and he like did like a joke, like a skit, like I don't know, like 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago or something, and he like rapes like a baby doll, a fake baby, and he's getting canceled for that, and like that is fucked up. It is so weird and shit. Like I watch it, it is fucked, but it's like I don't know. It's like at least it's a fake baby, you know. At least it's a doll, and then it's like when they're actually putting little kids in like skimpy clothes and stuff. Like that's like a whole new level of fucked up, in my opinion.
Well,
Like if you want to comment on it, if they're making a commentary on it, like I don't know, why do they need like the footage of that, especially in the trailer? Like it's like so fucked.
no, it is. It's weird. It's like pushing the limits for sure, right?
Right.
And I wish I knew more about it, but
Yeah, true. I don't really know enough, so I'm kind of talking my ass.
I find like I don't know, like what cancer culture, the whole concept of people being canceled, like
Yeah.
people need to recognize the time and context when something was done,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like like we just talked about it. 2020 was different than 2000 was different than 2020, right? Like the way people talk to each other, um, how cultures evolved, what was on TV, what was acceptable was different. So going back 10 years and saying like that's not acceptable, okay, well he didn't do it Tuesday. He did it 10
Right.
years.
Yeah.
And a lot of comedy, like think about Ren and Stimpy or Rick and Morty, sorry. Part of what their deal is to be like ridiculous, right? And over
Yeah,
the top.
super
Like,
edgy and shit. Yeah.
on the edge. So if you're on the edge 10 years ago, yeah, you're over the edge now if we've gone farther left, right? So
Yeah.
I think the whole thing's dumb, and it's going to hit everyone eventually because in 10 years we're probably going to be even more progressive. And then what are you going to say about all these kids who are saying we can't have it? Well, everything you've said is on the internet now, like literally everything you've ever done. So in 10 years, good luck to you. Good luck, because you're fucked.
Yeah.
Because you said or used it, you're not allowed to use anymore.
So why don't we just give up now? We're not gonna be able to be doing comedy in 10 years. We're all gonna be canceled.
No, but no one's. That's what I'm saying. No one's going to be canceled.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to go like, "Oh, we fucked.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Our bad. Like this was like." Think of a word like I don't know. What is a slang word you use for anything that could be like a slang word for literally any as soon as it's identified with a person, right? So, like when I was in high school, like you would hear fag all the time, right? You just would, right? You can't say that now. Like it's brutal. You can't because times have changed, and I'm glad it's changed.
Well, you just said it, so you could say it in that context.
In the context.
But you wouldn't say the N-word in that context, you know what I mean? You would say the N-word. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's not, nothing is that bad as the N-word. And like, will anything ever get that bad? Is like
Voldemort. Playing, like, cards, the N-word's like the bomb that like no one can talk. Like, how would you ever?
Yeah.
You can't beat that. You don't do it. You don't use it. I don't know, but I'm just trying to. I don't have a good example right now, but
no, that is a good example. Like that is one that was definitely a lot more common and a lot more acceptable, and it's way less common, way less acceptable now. But people still use it all the time. Dave McInnes calls me fag every time I see him. I only see him twice.
Oh, Dave's a different. That's a different thing. But think, like, there has to be a word now. Like when you're describing, like, it trans, let's say.
Yeah.
Maybe in 10 years, that's going to be a real bad word.
Yeah, people won't be able to say trans anymore. It'll be something else.
Queer at one point was bad, and then or good, and then it went bad, and then it's good again.
Yeah. I think you're right with that one. That's funny.
I'm not judging it in any way. I'm saying it's confusing as fuck.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. Another one is retard. People really don't like. I said retarded, and my sister like yelled at me, and I was like, "Oh man."
Or mentally disabled. Is that going to be the one we can't use in 10 years?
Yeah.
Times change. Words literally change. Like that's why they adopt new language in the dictionary every year, right? Like it's. So if you're going to cancel someone because they did something that made sense then, like watch some of the kid shows I used to watch, man. They're bananas.
Yeah. Speaking of the dictionary thing, I heard they added irregardless to the dictionary.
Really?
Which means the world is over.
Anyway, but they also. Like,
I don't know if that's true though. It might have just been a meme.
Is K going in?
K? Oh, like just that? Wow, that should be in the dictionary. That's been around forever.
This makes me so angry. I just looked it up.
And it's there?
Yeah, in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. The definition of irregardless is regardless. And that makes me so angry. I hate you for bringing my attention to that.
That's so awesome that it's fucking real, but that makes me mad too, but it's funny at the same time. It's funny that you're mad. It's like you're suffering with me, so it's...
But language is just how people use it, right?
Yeah.
The word is just whatever people think it means.
Mm-hmm.
If more people think it means this, then it means that's what it means now. Like,
yeah, but the worst part is now when people say irregardless, you can't say that's not a word. It's regardless, because irregardless is a word now. You know?
I'm trying to think. There's one that people always get wrong, and I can't.
There's a bunch out there. Yeah.
Oh, I know, but there's the one. It's like a saying. I can't think.
Yeah,
of it.
I think I know the one you're thinking. But it's on the tip of my tongue too. That people always get wrong, and it pisses me off too. I don't know. Yeah. There's like a couple at least, but whew. Man, I gotta know what the one above your one head is, because I can tell the other picture. No, I can tell the middle one's a tree, but the one to the one looks like weed. The one's not that one, the other one. It's like on a cutting board or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
What is that?
Dude,
it looks like 2 nugs of weed.
It comes in a set of 3 called green plants or something.
Oh,
and they're super old. They've got to be. We probably bought those in our first house 12 years ago, 13 years ago. They're not. You guys got to get some paintings like me, man. We do. Upgrade your walls. Yeah. True. I'm not even lying. That's one of the things we're talking about is how we need to get some big pieces of art. Like I got some big walls with no real like art on it. We need to get some. Get some going. You do a big version of that mouse. I didn't paint this stuff. This isn't me. None of it? No, that mouse is mom. This is shit that I saved from being burnt. So it's like, this isn't even finished and shit. Because like every year she like burns a bunch of shit. So it's like, sometimes she'll let me have a couple, you know? Yeah. That's a weird creative process, right? Well, I think she's awesome. It's like, she has like a bunch of fans on Twitter and they all like cry about it. And she loves it, how upset they get. You know, I think she should do comedy. Well, at her daughter's wedding, her daughter's bridesmaid went up and did this speech, and she was like crying the whole time. And then Nancy went on right after her and just like made fun of her the whole time, and it like killed. She like destroyed better than I've done at like any open mic or anything. And I was like, and she was just freestyling up there, like she didn't, you know what I mean? It was like just naturally. Yeah, it was so good. I wish like there was someone out there must have the recording. Like I want to
watch it again or see if she'd post on the internet because it's so funny.
That's the stuff like you wish you had on tape.
Yeah.
Like watch that like lady just kill a room and be like, what did she do here? Right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Yeah, it's like it should be like mid sentence and then like fake start crying, but I forget like why it was like perfect, even like punchline kind of shit. You know, what I mean, yeah, like I would love to like watch it back and like, you know, it was just like so natural. A lot of stuff, it's like I always like try to tell this to like comedians that are like just starting or whatever. It's like the room can like feel your energy. You know, you like if you're stiff up there and nervous, everybody gets nervous. If you're relaxed and having fun, everybody's relaxed and having fun, you know?
that's why I like for me, I always start off with like a one-liner or something real quick
Mhm.
just to get some sort of laugh because I know it loosens me up.
Yeah,
It's
same with me
more,
because the laugh right away will make you relax and be like, yeah.
yeah. So
I
like
just,
I'll go up and you know how I dress. I'll say like, "Welcome to the TED Talk portion of the evening."
yeah.
Throwaway joke, not real funny, but you get a few like, ha ha ha,
Yeah,
right? And then,
yeah.
right, they'll laugh. I know they'll laugh, so it's fine. Just tell your stupid jokes, right?
Mhm.
And that's what I don't know. That's what I do.
Every comedian does the self-deprecating stuff. I gotta make fun of myself more. You know, I got lots of stuff I can make fun of.
But it's the easiest thing off the top, right? And
Yeah.
it disarms everybody.
And it's
Like,
very like you know what I mean? It's like obviously like you're coming up with this stuff. It's like no one's gonna steal that joke that you made about yourself. You know?
no, exactly. Yeah, it's very personal or
Yeah.
about you, your persona, right? But I find anyways, like if you go up, and some comics can do it because they're very good at it, right? Like, but if you go up attacking people
Mhm.
without first attacking yourself, like I find as soon as I attack myself, I can now go, I've now given myself permission and you guys permission to laugh because you know I can take it too.
Right, like mentally, yeah, or like
You're like, yeah,
subconsciously, yeah.
I'm about to make fun of my children, but it's fine because I made fun of me first.
Yeah.
Right? So let me talk to you
Yeah.
about my wife, but remember, I made fun of myself too.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah, so
that's
it's
just
good
how
to
it
do
works.
it in that order too, right? Start with making fun of yourself like as close to the beginning as you can. It's like a good icebreaker.
Yeah, 100%.
Hmm.
That's why I do it. It's 100% to give you permission to laugh when I make fun of other things too. Or that's how I see it anyways. Yeah.
I'm
Like
excited to hear your new jokes, man.
we bought a couch, so that's a joke.
You got a joke about a couch? Don't tell any of them yet. I don't want.
I'm just giving you premises, man. Coaching my kids' soccer teams, that's a joke.
All right.
What else do we got? I got a whole file folder here.
The tags always only make sense to you. You never can know what the joke is, you know? Like they just say like my tag's like poo finger, you know, the poo
Yeah.
finger joke. Fucking we got the
Look-
pepper grinder joke, yeah.
Oh, parent-teacher interviews. Got a parent-teacher interview joke I'm working on.
Damn, so you've been writing more than anybody, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh, caffeine.
Mm.
Thing about caffeine. A bit about how my kids make fun of me. Yeah, I would honestly say I've written close to half an hour.
Damn, that's sick.
But the problem is I know that that'll get chopped in like half or less.
Yeah, but that's still you got like you're putting it through the factory, the joke factory or whatever.
Yeah.
It's part of the process, and that's awesome because I have trouble even coming up with the concepts and like trying to get them even to try on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but just talk about a funny thing that happened to you. Start there, and then you can add a million tags.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
I got drunk with my buddies and they shaved my chest. I don't know. Whatever happens to you, I don't know. You're like
I stay home a lot and play video games. You know, podcasts with people now. Yeah.
Talk about getting chirped by an 8-year-old from Taiwan who just beat you at something. You know?
Yeah. I'll talk about podcasting. I can get people to look it up. That's like when I was thinking like at the end of my shows, I would be like, hey, look me up on YouTube.
Yeah, you can do that for sure.
You know, and then that would maybe like help advertise it and shit.
Tell people you're a professional telemarketer, right? You got the headset.
I used to be a telemarketer.
Come
I
on,
made
what'd you sell?
windows and doors.
Really? Not air duct cleaning?
No, so I would like send a person out to your house, and then they would sell you windows and doors. And if they made a sale, I would get 1%. And
So
I
how
made
would you send them out? Like, how would you
so I
identify?
would so I could probably still remember what I would say. So I'd just sit here on a computer and I'd be playing like secretly playing my video games because they would like, they didn't
Yeah.
want you to play video games or whatever. They want you to pay attention, but you say the same thing over and over again. So I'd be like, "Hey, my name's," or I'd be like, "Am I speaking to the homeowner?" I think I would ask that first, and then they'd be like, "Yes." I'd be like, "I'm Sebastian from Landmark," and then I'd be like, "Did you know the government is giving you like up to $5,000 to like get these special
Yeah.
windows?" That's when I started working. There was that on for like a year, and then so like
You
I'd be
did
like,
it for over a year?
"Pardon?"
You did it for over a year?
I think like around a year. Yeah, exactly. It was
Oh
crazy,
my
bro.
God.
Yeah, it sucked. I actually like I should have been I was doing comedy at the time and shit even like I would walk over to Showtime after work or sometimes. It was like
Is that not a huge bit you've got?
I know it should be, but like I just like kind of like
Like, walk
toned
up on
everything
stage
out.
and be like, I'm going to sell you some windows and doors right now. And you
Also, I
start-
was afraid of like I don't know, like I didn't want to like expose them. They are like shady and shit. Like when they did fire me, fucking they fucked me over. They on a bunch of commission. I was supposed to get like, because I actually sold them a decent fucking amount of windows and doors. Probably
But you
like,
were playing on your phone and you were told not to, Sab.
yeah, but I'm still owed my 1% commission.
Should give him a ring. I know it's COVID and all, but remember that.
No, this is like years ago. Like I haven't worked there in like 2 years or 3 years or something.
I did telemarketing for a week at university.
Oh damn.
Kill me. Not a chance. It's the
Yeah.
worst.
It is the worst. I got a lot of people like yelling at me. It's weird because like I like one thing I hated about it is like knowing that I'm not helping the world at all. Like I'm not making the world a better place. Like my job isn't like doing anything good for anybody. I'm just like annoying people, and then people that even get the new windows and doors and they're like happy, they're probably not getting the best product they could have if they would have just like done their own research. You know what I mean?
That's
So
fair.
it was very like I don't know. It's like depressing. I was like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, I feel so fucking useless.
You just started your own window and door company. Good shit.
No, it was like good shit probably, but it's like it was like super expensive and like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like any company that is using telemarketing as like a business plan is just like shady.
Well, yeah, because they're just going volume and they don't care. They
Yeah.
just pump it through, right? But what are you gonna do? I couldn't do sales, period, of anything.
It is weird because I would talk like how I do now. Like they wanted me to be like, they were always trying to get me to be like better and like a go-getter. But I'd be like, hey, you looking for any windows or doors? No. All right, moving on. You know what I mean? And
Some weed if you don't want. Some weed on the side. Yeah. You're the best, Seth.
Thanks. Fuck yeah! I wish like now I can't really like remember any good stories because it was so long ago. But if I had like written anything down during and then tried it on stage and shit, maybe
Just
I
think,
could.
I don't know. There's like anything that happens in your life in a week. Pick something that happened this week, right? My kid fell off a trampoline. It was pretty funny.
So you have kids. That's good. They're doing weird shit and like having adventures.
Yeah, like talking back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's like I think a lot of comedians that get famous and stuff kind of lose their funniness in that sense because they're not having those life experiences where they were relating to everybody.
That's it. It's my type of comedy for sure. Like I don't do shock or awe, right? Like I do some switches, like, but it's most of it relatable.
Yeah,
What?
Sorry, I was gonna be like, once Seinfeld was like, "What's the deal with hanging out in the back of these limos?" And, like no one can relate to him anymore,
Have you watched his new one that came out?
No, it's probably good though.
With about how he's rich.
Really? Oh my god.
He basically lost me off the top. I was like, all right.
Yeah, and he's like the king of like relatable comedy, at least in my eyes. So yeah,
Yeah.
that sucks. Oh well.
I didn't like his new special. I mean, it's still funny. He's still Seinfeld. He's still like
Yeah.
a comedy god. But I was like, not sure if you're right. Like I love like Nate Bargatze because I find him super relatable.
I actually haven't even heard of him, but I'll look him up.
God. You have Netflix?
Yes.
Yeah, tonight. Go.
All right. How do I
It's
spell his last name? Bergassi?
BERGATZE.
Oh,
But the first one, so
Okay.
his special, the Tennessee Kid's on there, but you need to watch his special from the stand-ups first. It's half an hour, and it's
Okay.
straight murder for 30 minutes. It's unreal.
The stand-ups, that's on Netflix too?
Yeah, it's just called The Stand-Ups. And then
Okay.
there's a bunch of episodes with a bunch of comedians, and his is one of them.
Sick.
It's so good, man. He's amazing. His first joke is it'll kill you. You'll love
That's
it.
awesome. Yo,
And
you
if
know
you
what?
don't, you might as well stop because you won't like the rest.
Yeah. No, I think like I'll like it. I want to say like most comedy, you know?
Me too.
I feel like I don't know, it's like I'm even at shows and I'm like, this person isn't getting as much laughs as they deserve, you know?
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
That happens all the time, I find.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that's delivery too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just, and you, like we know the people and where they're coming from more than the audience does, right?
Right.
So like, oh, that's so funny, and I know why he's doing that, and they're like, oh, but they don't because they know 30 seconds of him.
Right, yeah.
Right. Well, that's the hard part is getting people to, because something you and I could say to each other, we could find hilarious, but that's because like our relationship with each other and like how much I know about you and you know about me. And so trying to find that thing that everybody gets right away without them knowing like my backstory. Right. Or you have to tell them that backstory real quick and like a bulleted points to make it funny.
And the backstory has to be funny. You know what I mean? You don't want to bore them with that part, yeah.
Exactly. Let me tell you about me, and then 5 minutes in, you'll be like, all right, now let's some jokes about all that stuff I just told you about.
Yeah.
You're not, yeah. You're
Man,
not your therapist, right?
do you know what I'm super excited about is Jeff Leeson's Dry Bar special should be coming out sometime in September, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty excited because I love Jeff Leeson, and I'm doing a guest spot.
Everybody does. Wait, oh, really? When is he at Showtime?
25th and 26th.
Sick. How'd you land that guest spot? You got the connections.
No, Mark just reached out to me. I was like, fuck yes, please.
That's sick, bro. Yeah, dude. I think once this special like goes up, I think he's gonna like blow up huge really fast, man.
So funny.
If they do it properly, if they like edit it properly or whatever, which they must be able to, because like the videos that on his channel are done great, and like he's not like a pro editor with all these different angles and stuff, you know what I mean?
No, he just brings like 3 GoPros and like a cell phone and then puts it together. So I'm sure with like professional and
which is wild because he has to get like shots of the audience and stuff, right? It's like, so for me or you, we could just bring one camera, film our set, no big deal. He's got like position 3 GoPros. It's like
he's so good. The first time I saw him, he destroyed the Garden City Comedy Festival.
I think I saw that show too.
The gala, he got like a standing O, and like, oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah, standing orgasm is fucking amazing. So, dude.
All right, buddy, it's
yeah.
The wife's packing up. She just locked the door and like looked at me. So I think it's
all right. It was a good talk, man. I appreciated having you on again.
You're gonna be at Showtime next week?
Yeah, buddy.
I'll see you there, bud.
See you then. You're the man.
Love you, man.
Love you too, buddy. Peace out.